If you want to find the right girlfriend, life partner, or wife, you don't have to go to bars, pubs, or clubs. It's absolutely not necessary. You can simply use online dating apps, or you can learn to meet women in everyday scenarios. That being said, if you want to go to bars or pubs, which is the thing we have here in Ireland, you do have them in the US, but not really quite like that, or you want to go to clubs, you can do that and you can meet great women there. A friend of mine who I was helping out yesterday, we were in a bar/club, and he was complaining to me after going through a couple of rejections. He felt a little bit beaten down. He got 1 or 2 contact details, but then he got a couple of 3, 4, 5 rejections in a row, and he goes to me, "Aren't you sick of rejections? Aren't you just tired of it?" And I look at him, wondering if he knows who he's even talking to. You know, you're talking to the world's best dating coach. I didn't say that, but it was in my mind. Anyway, I immediately proceed to say, keep taking more action. It's part of the game. I help him with his mindset. And then there was a woman standing there with a female friend of hers and 2 men. 2 men leaning against the balcony of the upper bar area, and 2 women. And after a little bit of mindset coaching, mindset refinement, he goes in and starts a conversation. And he has a 10, 15 minute conversation with her. Seems to go really well. And she was very attractive. Without exaggeration, she was at least one of the top 3 most attractive women in that place. I told him it was the most attractive woman I have ever seen him get contact details from, exchange an Instagram, or get a number from, by far. She may have been the most attractive one, I'm not sure, but definitely one of the top 3 most attractive ones in the entire place. The reason I'm sharing that with you is, yes, sometimes this journey of putting yourself out there can seem a little bit daunting, especially if you're a little bit more introverted. You tend to get stuck in your head a little bit. You may run out of things to say. You have the same routine. You go from work to gym, maybe meet friends a little bit, but that's basically it. You have the exact same routine. You haven't ventured out there yet a lot. You haven't practiced getting out there and approaching women. Maybe you have good communication skills in work. Maybe you're in business, maybe you've advanced your career to quite a large extent, but that idea seems a little bit daunting. And yes, sometimes it can be a little bit rough. It absolutely can be. But I just want to encourage you and tell you that sometimes you're this close to amazing success. If you go out, and again, you can theoretically just use online dating. If you want my help with that, apply for a free initial consultation call. I would say more than half of my clients find their partners through online dating apps, so you can just use that. But the inner growth you will experience from putting yourself out there and learning to approach women in a respectful and effective way is unparalleled. Fernanda and I, we met in a bar or pub. It's a pub, club, bar. What is this? What's bad pubs?
Both.
It's both, combination of both. And my friend, he was about to give up. He was about to crawl right back into his shell. This is an amazing man, very intelligent, great job. He would not have been able to exchange contact details if he hadn't pushed himself beyond the point of initial frustration. Of course there's frustration. Of course it gets hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Do you remember this image? Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. Imagine you're looking at a tunnel. Basically, imagine you have a tunnel and you cut it in half and you're able to see what's above the ground and below the ground. Imagine somebody, oh, I'm so sorry, baby, I'm sorry. Somebody below the ground and somebody's digging a tunnel. And then you can see there's a wall in between the guy, and on the other side you can see a treasure, diamonds, gold, whatever it may be, and he's digging, and he's about to give up, or he actually does give up. He says, oh, this is too hard, I want to quit. Aren't you just tired of rejections? And he gives up, and he never knew that he was this close to striking gold. You never know which is going to be the interaction that's going to be your wife, your girlfriend, your life partner. You want to find a meaningful, serious relationship. But being able to put yourself out there and creating options for yourself is a necessary step, even if it's just through online dating. And yes, I've seen this with clients from almost 30 countries now. It can get frustrating at times when you don't know what you're doing. Your mindset isn't on point. You don't know how to meet the right type of women. Yes, that's why getting feedback from coaches, mentors, experts is very helpful. You should have a high quality social circle. You should have other men who encourage you. You gotta feed your mind every day, which you're doing right now. You're watching this YouTube video, you listen to this podcast, wherever this episode may be being posted. So you are on the right track. But keep in mind, there will be moments of frustration. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You don't know if the woman that you see in Starbucks, Whole Foods, in your yoga class, may not be your wife. You have to understand that most likely she won't be. But success is the ability to go from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. So even though you statistically know, there's a 90+% chance that the next woman, 99% chance, that the next woman you're going to speak to will not be your wife, you still have to act as if. You still have to approach it with the same degree of enthusiasm, because once you will meet your wife, your future wife, girlfriend, life partner, like this, if you don't bring that degree of enthusiasm, how's she supposed to get excited about you? How's she supposed to get to know the beautiful aspects about your personality? How's she supposed to realize that you're a high-value man if you don't communicate these things in an excited fashion? Because remember, these so-called honest signals that you're a high-value man, and one of them is just positivity, being able to laugh and being funny. Most people are so dragged down by life, they're suffering so hard. I'm not even saying that's due to their own fault or anything, but if you want to show her that you're a man worth spending time with, be positive. Positivity is a very attractive trait, because if you can laugh, if you can smile, if you can have a great time, that's a very clear indicator that things can't be going too bad for you. So you need to muster that enthusiasm, that you need to encourage yourself, that excitement every single time. And it helps to be a little bit stoic about it. Not apathetic, not a degree of internal resignation, but just stoic. Just understand, okay, numbers. Now, it's not just a numbers game, it's definitely a skill set. You can approach a woman 1,000 times if you don't know how to do that, and you don't need to approach 1,000 women. That's not the aim of the game here. But you could do that 1,000 times, and if you're not doing it the right way, it's worth nothing. So the approach has to be correct. But if you take a significant amount of action, then the results will come. And just understand, there is always a percentage of women that are going to give you the number if you work on your skill set, if you improve your communication skills. And there's some that are not going to come through. That's perfectly fine. There will be a 10% cancellation rate on dates, 20, depending on it. That's normal. It should be low. But there will be some. And if you just understand, oh, okay, it will take more volume than initially anticipated, but I'm willing to put in the work, then your life can get really good. Because keep in mind, we're talking not just about a random fuck here. We're talking about a meaningful, long-term relationship. Somebody that you can potentially spend your life with. Hey, you know, isn't that worth putting some effort in? Isn't that worth putting yourself out there? What do you want to tell your son someday? Do you want to tell him, oh son, you know, take the easy way? Or do you want to say, this is a goal that I set for myself and I went for it and I kept going and I kept going and I kept going, even if it may have been difficult at times, even if I got sick of rejections, and everybody experiences that. That is completely normal, but you need strategies to master your mental and emotional state if a date doesn't go well. Because even if you have the best coaches, the best mentors, you have the best strategies, you push yourself out there, and you have like the right process, every now and then a date is not going to go well. That's perfectly normal. You will need to go on some amount of dates. You should have at least one good date a week for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And then you will be able to find someone. But not every date is going to go the way you want it to. And if you have the expectation that it should, then you're going to suffer. Because remember what Tony Robbins says. We don't experience life, we experience our emotions. And our emotions are created from the meaning we give a situation. If I give a failed date the meaning that it's failed, well, then I'm going to have a degree of frustration and anger and maybe self-doubt. If I think that it was my fault, well, maybe it was your fault and you need to improve your communication skills. But you see where I'm going with this. If you give it a disempowering meaning, you're going to feel disempowered. If you say, well, this was up, you live or you learn, and another one, and you keep going, and another one, and another one, and you just go. I mean, you wouldn't expect to go to the gym after you've never gone to the gym and do 3 push-ups and expect to be done with it. It's an imperfect analogy, because in order to achieve the degree of musculature around your chest that you may want to have, it'll take a whole lot more push-ups than it'll take dates. Okay, so it's an imperfect analogy, but you get the idea. Volume is required, and it's perfectly fine. Isn't a big goal worth going through some challenges for? And you've already done that in your career or your business. You're already a man who has the better skill of learning and putting himself out there. in a professional sense at least, taking action. Maybe there were promotions that you wanted to have and you didn't get them. Maybe business deals that didn't go well. But you kept going, and you struck gold in your career. You struck gold in your business because you didn't stop right before you were about to break through. Give yourself the gift of endurance, persistence, and consistent amount of effort without a lack of enthusiasm is gonna drastically increase the probability of success. There's no guarantees because you might die tomorrow. Yeah, so enjoy the journey as well, but the probability that you're gonna find someone, an amazing girlfriend, life partner, or wife, is extraordinarily high if you do the right things and you do them consistently. And you also have to ask yourself, what do you enjoy? Do you enjoy going to bars or clubs or pubs? If you do, amazing, go there. If you don't feel sure about the environment yet, go master it. If you say that's really not my thing, that's also perfectly fine. Maybe you want to go to shopping malls, meet women there, yoga, the gym. You can get extraordinarily good at online dating. Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, Match.com. I would always recommend from the bottom of my soul, because I so deeply believe in it, that a real life component always has to be part of your approach. You cannot just rely on online dating. Because it will grow your character, it will give you resilience, it will give you confidence on the dates that you wouldn't believe. Because if you're on a date and you know that you can just walk out on a street, talk to somebody in a respectful and effective way, do that a couple of times, and as often as you want, get high quality dates from that, it's absolutely amazing. So I would like to invite you to not stop when you feel a degree of frustration. And one of the ways to do that is to improve your mindset. The problem is you have blind spots. He didn't even know that when he was bitching to me that was a blind spot. That was just a wrong thought. Now, if I had corrected that thought, what actions would he have taken? Would he have approached? No, he would have gone home and he would have jerked himself to sleep. But since I did correct it, he took action, he approached, and he got the Instagram contact details from one of the, maybe the most attractive, but at least one of the 3 most attractive women in that entire venue. So, if you want me to help you with your mindset, if you want to find the right girlfriend, life partner, or wife, apply for a free initial consultation call underneath this video, wherever this episode may be posted. You're already doing so well. Can you do this by yourself? Probably. It might take you 5 to 10 to 15 years. So if you want to save your time and you want to have an amazing journey and a really fun journey along with it, apply for a free call. I'm looking forward to speaking with you. Take care.